sounds like it happened, of course. So basically, again, one sentence of the summary what I just said. We process the video just to extract only the relevant events, and we process the video to dismiss the false positive and provide only valid events to the operator by our detectors. I'm not saying I'm just skipping because I am conscious of the time. I would like to just go to let's say another 2 slides, and that's it, and then we can show the live demo. So basically, imagine this is the real-time situation. This is the video surveillance in the city. So basically, you can name the number of the use cases here, like wrong parking or parking violation, some maybe pedestrians going through the street, etc., etc. What we are doing when we apply our video intelligence platforms, our neural networks, they are basically untrained. It means we provide a self-training AI. They learn every single scene from your cameras. It means we don't deliver the AI which is trained somewhere on some suspicious data set or unverified data set somewhere in our labs. This is just learning or training itself from the scene from your city. It means this is the self-learning AI, which creates so-called pattern. We call it optical hash. What does it mean? It means it tries to understand all the movement on the scene. It doesn't know yet is it the car or the human or the person. It just on the pixel level creates this optical hash to make the pattern in the place and in the time domain. So when something is happening on the scene, it is called anomaly. So basically, this anomaly is taken as the alert to the second layer of our AI. Basically, we can stop here and say, okay, Mr. Operator, this is something unusual on the scene. Could you verify? However, of course, we have some predefined deep learning modules when we can add the context. It's not only this, because what is very important, we take this small video, small clip, and then we apply those deep learning modules. So it means we are very efficient in the hardware, from the hardware perspective, because we know it is something relevant here, and we would like to apply what is going on the scene. So we add the context by saying, okay, this is the smoke and fire. And by the way, you can see multiple, let's call it objects here or bounding boxes here. By the way, we detect everything what is on the scene. For the future investigation, for the future searching, we can use, if there is a person, if there is a backpack, if there is a car, we can search everything what is on the scene. Basically, more than 160 objects could be described. But it's not only that. We have another option. We have another layer which is based on the in-house built video or visual language model. It is the LLM, which you may know from the ChatGPT, Cloud, etc. Similar to that technology, but it is fine-tuned by the thousands of or millions videos from the CCTV. It means you are assured that we can additionally add the context to this alert. So basically, we can confirm what is on the scene. We can describe also, or this Aurora, which is the name of this Gen AI, can describe fully what is on the screen. It means you can make your own use cases. For example, if you have if you have the sparks fire in this situation, that's fine. There is no risk because it's a workshop, they are melting, etc. However, when in some seconds the fire comes inside the car, the Aurora says, okay, guys, this is the risk of the fire, serious problem, yeah, because we have it. It shouldn't be inside. So that's the beauty of the Aurora. And again, this is no cloud, not cloud connected. Everything is on the on site. So basically, or even this, you can. I know that's some manufacturer, let's say, environment. However, nobody has the steel rings detection falling down, etc. We can say this is something anomaly. This is the serious risk for the health and safety. So Aurora can add some additional context. Yes, this is the serious problem. Basically, let's go to the demo because it will show you how it works from the live demo. So Carlos, I have multiple videos here. If needed, I can jump in, but I believe this is something what we can go to your.
We can do it later. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. Okay, here it is. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Excellent.
Yes, we do.
Perfect. Let me make an introduction before we start viewing the live video, okay? This is a demo environment we've got where we've got videos running in loop. Okay, meaning that we know that many things are happening there. And what we are doing is we've got a computer where we've got the Milestone environment, recording server, management server, everything together, as well as with the smart client, as you are showing now. And we've got a tool that is, let's say, looping the videos all the time. Okay, with this information, we've got a few cameras as those ones. Okay, you can see we've got different videos. We are not going to see all of them, but we are going to go to select some of them in order to show you how the system works. First thing I want to highlight, one said that this is not live, are recorded videos, but we are playing back in loop, okay? We are analyzing the analytics is working in real time. Why? Because it's true that we are not receiving the video feed coming from a camera, but this is a looped video. So it's exactly the same, but we don't need to wait till anything happens because we know that in this camera or whatever, many things are going to happen, okay? So with that said, I want to highlight a few points. First one, as Radek said before, one of the biggest difference with our solution against any of our competitors is that we are splitting all the analytics process in different layers. The first thing we are doing, we are detecting. Second one, we are classifying. The third one is with the information detected and classified, we are moving this information to the logic engine, to our rules engine, and the rules engine is taking decisions, meaning that if what day is in the week, what time is in the day, what object did I classify, and what it was into the camera field of view, and with this information, I can dismiss, the system can dismiss, can escalate, or can do whatever. And one additional layer, as Radek said before, is the Aurora Gen AI, okay? Aurora is our own Gen AI, which once again, is working offline, okay? Aurora, or our system is never sharing nothing through internet. Everything is running on end user premises, never going through internet, okay? So with all this information together, we are using Aurora for two different things, for many, okay? But in high level, two things. First one is like adding an additional layer in order to dismiss or to reduce even more the false positives. And we are using Aurora as well Aurora Investigate, we name, in order to extract all the metadata and information from the camera and saving all this metadata information, and later on making search metadatabases. That means that we can make a search, we are going to see it, okay? Looking for persons, for vehicles, for whatever, in just a few seconds, okay? With that said, what I want to highlight here as well is, this is the Milestone Smart Client. We are just a tab inside the Milestone Smart Client. Why Martins is so important? You know that better than me, because the operator doesn't need to switch between one solution and another. Everything is in the same framework, and having all together means that you are saving time, but not only saving time. That means that you can take easy and quick decisions, and as the system is fully integrated, okay, that means that the feeling is that you are going to be running the same system, and in reality it is, okay? So here we've got, as you can see, different type of alerts with different icons, with different colors. What that means, based on what we detect and classify, we are creating different type of priority alerts, okay? For example, here, this is the one that you saw before in the Radex presentation. Here is just a frame with some of the objects classified on these cameras on the Bird Street. And if I click here, I will see, I still watching here in the right side, the pictures, and in the left side, I'm seeing the video that create this event, okay? That's good, and our system detects that this is a fire into a street, and for this reason, we create a high-level alert, okay? Priority critical, but at the same time, if I'm going, for example, to this one, where you are seeing that we've got a purple icon, if I click on any of those ones, we're going to see how we are going to check now how Aurora is working, okay? Our system detects movement. Let me maximize this. Our system detects movement, and based on this movement, wait for a moment, I want to change this one. Okay, based on this movement, our system detects and classifies a person. As our system believes in the beginning, okay, that there is a weapon, Aurora was double checking, Aurora is our Gen AI, remember, was double checking if this is really a weapon or not. That means that Aurora is giving us, we are asking this question to Aurora. Mind that all those questions are configured into the system based on the interest we've got and what we want to detect on each of the cameras at the different times. And automatically Aurora is telling us, yes, a man is holding a blue gun in the image. Okay, that's so important. Why? Because we are seeing that in real time, that, mind that, I don't know if that's something that I think I told before, but we are at analytics in real time. That means that in milliseconds, we are highlighting what really happens into the situation, okay? And here we've got the alert. If I want to, I can have access to the live video, what's happening in this camera now, okay? And at the same time, here I've got the video that creates the event, okay? If I go to any other of the cameras, as for example here, West Fence, this is perimeter protection. This is an airport, okay, in west of Europe, okay? So we've got different environments as long range. This is intrusion in a solar farm in south of Europe. We've got different environments that are making, let's say, really useful information in order to real-time detect whatever is happening there. Let's go. I want to show you now some of the events, as for example, if we are going to, let's make a search. What about if we take, I'm going to make a search. I'm going to make a search using Aurora, as for example, I'm going to look in the whole system for some attributes, okay? I'm going to look for blue jeans, okay? If I make a search about that, system is looking in the whole database in the period of time that I'm defining for people, yeah, must be people, okay, that is wearing blue jeans, okay? But, and then I've got 11. The answer I've got is 11 persons or situations. Okay, what about if now I add another one, which is, for example, white t-shirt, okay? I'm looking for, and I've got 3. Okay, that's good. I've got 3. This is the information I'm looking here is into the metadata that Aurora has been extracting in the different cameras, okay? Here, for example, I can see how Aurora, this is the explanation that Aurora is giving us, and we can see here how we've got a lady who is wearing a white t-shirt and blue jeans. Okay, that's good. That means that we've got these 3 results. This is another one, another lady, and this is another one, which is the gentleman. Okay, so, and here, if for whatever reason I want to follow to keep on tracking this, what I'm doing is play back the video. That's good, and I will see that. Why? This is one of the benefits of having the system fully integrated into Milestone. That means that you've got a common interface and everything is working together. Or if in real time, I want to escalate an alarm on sending the alarm to the Milestone Alarm Manager, I can do that, okay? This is just one example, okay? Let's go for another example, okay? If I'm looking, for example, for taxi, okay? And I'm going to look for, if I'm not wrong, at least there are some taxis that has a blue roof. Let me check. Yes, that's it. This is another camera. Mind that I'm not selecting the camera. If I want, I can. Okay, I can say, okay, I want to make this search just in these cameras in this period of time and looking for this object. Okay, but now what I'm doing is looking for taxi with a blue roof. Okay, here it is. Okay, you have seen how quick it is. So that means that based on the configuration we are making in the system, every single time that a vehicle or a person or whatever is going over, let's say a tripwire or whatever we want to define into the system, we are extracting this information, saving all the information into our database, and later on we are making a search into the metadata search. That means that if the system is properly sized in hardware, in less than a second, we've got all the output, okay? And based on that, we can follow this car, go to another one, or do, I don't know, whatever we want, okay?
Can I add one sentence, please, here?
Even 2.
Yeah. Even 2. Thank you. So Aurora extracts all the characteristics when it is specifically asked in the prompt, in the question, which means also, if visible, can read the plates, can read all the labels, all the I don't know, adverts, etc. So basically, you can even, if you you can see here something. So the last one was better. Car make, yeah.
The car vendor, the model with, okay, the model, you know, is not going to be 100% accurate, okay? But yes, it depends how we configure the prompt. We are going to ask Aurora, please extract this information, the information we want to have, because if not, Aurora is going to classify even the color of the lines in the road. We need to define, Aurora, what type of information do we want to extract and later on save into the system. That's it. And we can do that at a camera basis. What that means? That means that in some cameras, we want to configure this information, and in other cameras, we want to configure another information. That's it, can be made and configured at a camera by camera level. Okay? Questions by now?
I have a question about this search. Does it work only with recordings, or can it work on like online?
This is working in recordings. Okay, sorry, not in recordings. This is working in events that already happened. However, something that happened now, 1 second later, is into the system.
Okay.
Okay, so mind that if you want to detect anything, in order to configure, give me, I don't know, a critical alert, if a taxi with a yellow roof and with this plate number goes through this road, then you need to configure into the system. And in this exact moment, the system is going to trigger the alert. Here, what the system is doing is a forensic search, okay, based on events. But never forget, an event is what happens 10 milliseconds ago. That's it. So that means that you can make whatever search you want to do, and this is going to be into our database, meaning that you can follow that. We've got customers, I can tell you, very big municipalities in Mexico, okay, where they are tracking cars, okay, using Aurora, but they are doing with Aurora, they are tracking how they are moving into the city, okay, through the different cameras without a real time. They are doing that, okay, where this car or this vehicle or this looking for attributes. So something like is coming to my mind, for example, that we detect a crime made with a Coca-Cola pickup that was white. So they are tracking, they can track the system and they can track the person, the car, whatever you want, not in real time, okay, because the system was not configured for this, but after the moment the car goes over or the person goes over, we save this information, meaning that it's in the database, you can make a good use of it, okay?
Okay, and can you make a trigger? Like we have a technology that we can track, like we have these LPR cameras, license plate registration number reading cameras. We can ask for system to detect plate numbers historically, but we don't have a trigger. Like we are looking for one car, yeah, with the plate number, like, I don't know, XXX. Can we put the trigger on this system that when this car goes into the sight of the camera, it gives us the warning or trigger?
What we can do is, if this LPR is integrated in Milestone, Milestone can send us information in order to work for that. Okay, because mind that you are talking about a third system, another system which is within plates. Okay, if was our LPR, I can tell you for sure. But if it's an LPR system that you already have, it depends if Milestone can send us the alarm. The good thing about our analytics, one of them is you can use our LPR or another LPR. And what you can do as well is, and this is one of the good things, for example, in Mexico, I don't know there how common is having cars without plates. But I can tell you in Mexico so often. Okay, there are many cars that are driving without plates, and it's totally normal. Okay, so you need to have another way in order to find those vehicles. Okay, I don't know if Latvia is that so easy or not. I don't know, man. So, but that's something that is important. But in any case, with our LPR, we can. Without our LPR, what we can do is doing that through Milestone, meaning that if you configure the system and the alert is going to Milestone, Milestone can pull the information from our system and having, let's say, a more deep dive into the system. Okay.
Okay, but our focus is on online detection, like all
in real time.
We have the system called BriefCam at the moment.
Yeah.
So if we need to analyze videos post factum, we can do it. But the main focus would be on this online detection, which supports our officers, because at the moment we have approximately 650, a bit more cameras, and not enough officers to watch them all.
Yeah, for sure. I must tell you a few things. First one, you've got a very good tool for forensic search in recorded video, which is BriefCam. No complaints about that. But never forget that we are pretty well, let's say, complementary to BriefCam. Why? Because BriefCam is post-processing the video, and we are analyzing the video in real time, meaning that we are creating alerts in real time or saving information in real time in order to look for the data in real time as well, if you want. You know, in BriefCam, for example, looking for a taxi with a blue roof is going to take longer than 1 second. We are doing that in real time. Why? Because we are not post-processing the video. What we are doing is analyzing the video in real time, and we are making the search into the metadata. Okay, that makes the big difference. And our analytics is used for detection. So is used and defined for real time. Okay.
So basically, just to confirm you once again, what we are doing with the analytics in case of the searching on the past alerts, and the past alerts may be 1 hour ago, 3 days ago, maybe milliseconds ago. So it means for the operator, it is quasi real time, basically. We can say something like that. So there is no problem with the real time when you have the milliseconds ago, let's say, because still, if you type something, the time is flying. So basically, that's the advantage over the BriefCam, that the processing the video is on the event. It means we process the video, we detected something, and we collect every single metadata from this event to the database. Then in the database, it's a collection of the text. So we research the text, not the video. We don't do, again, the processing the video. We just take the text and just go to the, because we have the metadata, then we have relation to the video. Then we can come back.
Yeah, it's really good thing. We see the difference with this BriefCam and LPR system, because LPR works like your system. It just takes
exactly.
And
It's real time.
Yeah, we search, it gives result in 5 seconds.
Exactly.
But in BriefCam, as you know, it takes sometimes hours to analyze videos.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that I'm not going to tell you nothing about BriefCam because you know better than me. But what BriefCam is doing is post-processing everything based on what you want now. That's the reason, because as you need to post-process the video, you need to wait till the video has been processed. That's it. Okay. Let me continue with this. Okay. Another thing we've got as well, we can make alert search. Okay. And here, for example, what I'm going to show you is I was making a search before here, and I'm going to choose this camera, which is Madrid downtown. And with this camera and this time frame I have defined here, I'm asking the system in order to generate an objects-based heat map. Okay, just to show you how the system can work. Okay, now what the system is doing is we are collecting information all the time, and what I've asked the system now is to give me the information and to paint a heat map based on the different objects that we have been detecting and classifying into the camera field of view. Okay, based on that, you can see how we've got persons, vehicles. Okay, we've got, the system has classified almost 130,000 objects, different objects. Okay, that's good. And here is the physical, let's say, color based on the different densities. That's good. But what about if I go to dog, for example? Then I'm going to amplify that. Then you can see how I've got a few dots. Let me go here, show one relevant event in the smart client. And here, I've got this dog, which is this one. Okay? And at the same time, what I can do, I can play back the video. Okay? I can play back the video and I can see how a dog is walking there. Why is that so important? That's so important. Why? Because what we are doing here is doing the other way around. Instead of going from the alert to the detection, what we are doing is, what type of object do I want to detect? And based on that, I'm going for it. Or if you want, what I can do as well is, okay, instead of creating a heat map object-based, I'm going to make a search into the camera. Okay, I'm going to say to the system, okay, in this region, look for object type, and I'm going to look for dog, which must be in the D. Dog. Here it is. And I can make more complex searches. I can say, okay, give me a dog which the probability of being a dog is higher or lower of that, and I want to have larger, more than 2 dogs, less than 5. I don't know. There are different rules you can configure into the system. Again, I go for search and I've got it. Here it is. Okay, it's the same dog. You can see it there. Okay, so, and again, one of the advantages of having a fully system integrated means that at the end of the day, everything is working as the same engine. Okay, this is another tool where you can say, okay, just imagine you've got a customer that is showing you, I don't know, whatever information, and then you can find it. Or for the cameras or for the system where we've got Aurora running, okay, you can look, I don't know, for a truck which has this logotype or this name, I don't know, or a person is calling you, one of your citizens is calling and say, okay, there is a crime and there is a taxi with at least these letters and these numbers in the plate. I don't know. There is different combinations that you can use that in real time. Then we've got the reports, okay, or live counting, okay. In live counting, for example, what we've got here is just an indoor situation where we are counting in an entry and exit in a shopping mall. But it can be a shopping mall, it can be
Square.
It can be whatever we want. It's just counting, okay?
How the counting works, how it detects like objects or part of the object, because this weekend we had a big event. I tried to use BriefCam to count the people, but it wasn't possible because they were in a big group all together, and it couldn't identify like these separate persons.
We've got 3 different ways of counting people. First one is this one, which is in and out, okay, where we are defining a tripwire. And based on this tripwire, what we are doing is we are classifying the people that is going through. Why is that so important? Because if you count persons classified, means that you are not counting, I don't know, cases or big boxes as persons. You are counting person as a person, okay? This is the first way. The second one is crowd counting. And we've got 2 different engines for crowd counting. One is the standard crowd, okay, which is not so, the density is not so high. And we've got a special engine, okay, for crowd counting, for people counting into the crowd. It's a different engine, okay? All of them are included into the product, as Radek said before, okay? So you just need to activate this one, or maybe if you've got an event these days, on these cameras, you want to add an additional use case, which is counting the crowd, and that's it. And a few days later, you've got all the information you want, and you are unchecking those engines, and that's it. Okay. So, and the accuracy we've got in the crowd environment is so high. We have been testing that in Canary Islands, in London, in an area where the people is used to see football matches, okay? And I can tell you, there are 1,000 people, okay, but thousands of people you're talking about in an area where there are between 4,000 or 5,000 people, and the system accuracy was over 97%, okay? Based on the statistics we receive from the user, okay? So it's...
O2 Arena recently in London. O2 Arena.
Yeah, but the O2 Arena is there are different. It's a different situation. Is detecting weapons, detecting and classifying fights, people falling, density as well, but not crowd counting. Okay, yeah. But this is for this use case that Martins has been said. We've got these 3 different ways of counting, and remember, those 3 different ways of counting are not in conflict. So that means that if there are some, I don't know, streets or some squares where the people is going over, what you can do is you can count the people, how they are going through, and consolidate it. You can create, let's say, a type of virtual environment, okay, or logical environment with the different streets that are going over to the square where you want to count the people in, meaning that on each single street, you can count them in and out. And at the same time, using the crowd counting, what you can do is counting how crowded the crowd is, okay? So you can put all of them at the same time and having information all together, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And that's it. Another thing I want to show you, sorry, because unless you want to go and to check, I don't know, many of the different use cases we've got here, I don't know, for example, PPE detection and many others. Another thing that is important, in my opinion, is we are talking about real time, okay? On top of real time, we are talking about detection. Let's start by the beginning. We are talking about around 20 cameras. We've got around 20 cameras into the system right now, okay? So let me check that. Yes, around 20 cameras, okay? Those 20 cameras, what we are doing is, we've got the video feed from the cameras coming to the server, and we are recording this. On top of that, we've got the management server. You can see we've got the smart client, and we've got as well our analytics server running. In analytics, we've got the detection with different triggers we've got. We've got the object classification with our and neural networks classifications. And on top of that, we've got our Gen AI running. All these, we are doing that with this computer. Okay, let me show you. If I go to this is the computer where everything is running. Okay, wait for a moment. Here we've got, what we've got is, this is a good computer, it's not a bad one, okay? No, wait, this is my computer. This is not my. Sorry.
Yeah, you need to go inside that.
This is my laptop.
Yeah.
Not the one, okay? So here it is. What we've got is, the system is, we've got an AMD Ryzen 7950X, which is a good CPU, but is not so expensive or really performant. We've got as well an RTX 5080, okay? And this is what we've got. And look at this. We are running. You have seen all the things that we are running in the system. We are 12, 20. We are not going over 25% of CPU, okay? Into the RAM, we are not going over 50% of RAM. And into the GPU, you are seeing how it is. We've got some peaks that are going to 15%. What that means? That means that this computer can do easily 3 times what this computer is doing now. Mind that this computer is a 2,000 euros computer, 3,000 euros computer, no more than that. Why I'm saying this? Because we are running Milestone, we are running the smart client, we are running analytics all together into the same computer.
And forensic,
means
Aurora Investigate.
Oh yes, and forensic.
Yeah.
Okay, everything running in this computer. So you know, Martins, how another analytics workload it is. You know the resources you need to put for some other analytics.
You've got your BriefCam server, so you know how big are.
Yeah, it's not enough. It's always not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Exactly. Good. And that's it. That's all what I've got to say, unless you've got questions and we can go to, I don't know, whatever, or open for questions.
Yeah, I have a question about this. When you are receiving, as a video operator, when you are receiving alert, how does it look?
It is. It is.
You've got the special tab.
This is the information that
you can see the special tab, iSentry alerts.
Yeah.
We are in the smart client, and this is what the operator is receiving. So just imagine here, for example, the operator is receiving this. I'm clicking here, and I've got the video and the alarm. And here, those soft buttons are the ones that we configure into the system, but those soft buttons can be defined as we want. So, okay, imagine escalate to alarm. This is an assault, alert police, send. And now we are receiving here into the alarm manager this event. What that means? That means that you can trigger in Milestone whatever type of action you want to trigger. That's it. So if you want, then in Milestone saying that another person needs to escalate, needs to follow up, needs to whatever, everything is here. So this is what the security operator are going to receive. This is the smart client. I believe that today your police department is using the smart client, right?
So sorry, using what?
The Milestone smart client, the viewer client for Milestone is the solution that in the control room you are using, right?
Yeah, Milestone.
It's exactly the same, but with one additional tab. And instead of having the security operators or the police department officers, instead of having them looking to cameras and looking for whatever, you are going to make in a different way. what you are going to do is they are going to follow the alerts that the system is highlighting for them. Okay, and they need to analyze, evaluate, and sorry, if you want to mind that something I didn't show you, but if I want to create, I don't know, a report based on the events, based on the alarms, all this information is into the system, meaning that you can create an event, or you can to export an evidence for the court, meaning that all this information is saved into the system, meaning that you can prepare the report and export the report as you prefer. Okay, so that's the tool the officers are going to use.
Yeah. Okay, and what are your like rules? How many cameras can we put in this system or add this system to how many cameras? Is there a license for every camera, or how it works?
Yeah, we have a license per one camera. We call it channel, so that's a license per channel, basically.
But remember one thing which is important, Martins. You've got license per camera, okay, but what you have not is license per use case. Okay, so if you want to run in the same camera, people falling, people fighting, weapon detection, vehicles driving in their own direction, fire and smoke, and I don't know, whatever you want, you can use the same camera license. Okay, of course, the hardware sizing is going to be different, because if you want to run 5 different use cases on the same camera, you will need to have more power in order to process everything. But the license itself is going to be the same for running as many use cases you want.
Okay. Now in our city, we have a concept with cameras that in one point, usually we have 5 lenses, like 4 perimeter lenses and 1 PTZ camera, which we can control like 360 degrees. So it would be probably too expensive to put on every point, like 5 licenses for each point. Okay, but
Martin, 2 things. First one, if on each single point you've got 5 cameras, that doesn't mean that you need to license every single camera. You can license only 1 or 2 or 3, the ones that matters. You don't need to license all of them. You can choose the ones you prefer. And another point, what is important as well, is we've got a pretty unique functionality, which is using the PTZ cameras for patrolling. So we can manage the PTZ cameras, and meaning that when a security operator is not using the cameras, we are going to take this camera and we are going to stay going to one position, to another position, to another position, and to another position, the positions you want, looking for whatever you want. So I don't know, looking for intruders, looking for smoke and fire, looking for, I don't know.
Loitering, yeah.
Okay, that's so important. And remember, you can choose, if you've got, if I'm not wrong, you said before, Martins, that you've got 600 cameras. Good. You don't need to buy 600 cameras, 600 licenses. If you do, Radek is going to be more than happy. I'm pretty sure about that, okay? But you don't need to do that. So that means that you can have 100, 200, 300, and as soon as you are using the system, when needed, you can grow up in 10 cameras, in 20 cameras, in 50 cameras, in 31, I don't know, whatever you prefer. Okay?
And how it works with the, if like I have a license for one video stream, can I change it to another camera?
Yeah, you can change. You can attach the license to the different camera.
Yes, you can. But something which is important, you need to consider as well. You can, but there are a few things that are configured within this camera, meaning that if you're going to move this license to another camera, you need to configure back the camera, because the camera field of view and everything is a different one. Okay, so yes, you can, but it's not drag and drop. Okay, it's drag and drop from the license point of view, but the configuration you've got from one camera is going to be modified in the new camera. That something is important as well.
And also, you remember that I said that the camera or the AI learns from the scene, from the camera field of view, from the scene. It means it takes 3 up to 5 days to learn completely the pattern. Yeah, this is something what is also important. If you would like to detect the anomalies on the scene, anomalies like it could be like a guy who is holding the can by the wall, and Aurora can say, okay, maybe this is the guy who is doing the graffiti. Yeah, so that's something what you have in the cities. So basically, this is something unusual. When normally people don't behave like this, but this guy is behaving completely differently. So it means it is unusual behavior, it is anomaly, and we detect this anomaly. So we need this transition time, let's say 3 up to 5 days. However, it starts from the day 0, but the amount of the false alarm could be higher on the very beginning, on the learning process. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, Carlos, if you could confirm it.
It is.
Yeah, but once it is configured, it's working independently on the weather condition, on the summer, winter, doesn't matter. It changes automatically, adapt to the weather conditions, basically.
Yeah, my colleague told me that there were some problems with another products that they were trained somewhere else in some different environment, and it doesn't apply for our nature, our colors, and so on. So
that's true. That's true. This is what I said from the very beginning. We deliver the AI which is untrained, and the training is unsupervised. So you don't have any influence or us to train, to make the training better, or to mark, oh, this is something I would like to consider. No, it is completely unsupervised. It means it is unbiased. It is like it is. It is what camera sees. If you put to the wrong position, it will be just the wrong position. It will see what it sees, and that's it.
And what's the detail for detection? How big or small objects can it detect, like a knife, something like that, or small arms, pistol, or something like that?
Okay, that's a very good point. We need to have information enough, but let me show you. For example, okay, this is okay. Let me, because it's always a good idea to check that from the video. It's giving us a better idea and understanding about. Look at this, okay. What the system is doing here, we are detecting and classifying this weapon as a weapon, and look into the whole camera field of view, how big it is. It's so small, okay? So we are classifying this as a weapon, okay? So that means that we don't need to have a lot of information, but we need to have information enough. I'm not going to tell you that we are going to be able to detect whatever. No, that's not the case. We need to have information enough. Here, as an example, where the system has been detecting this, I can tell you that this weapon was perfectly classified. Okay, this is but that's it. Okay, that's so important. Okay.
Yeah, but for some, for example, depending on the field of view, of course, but we can classify the cell phones, we can classify the backpacks, we can classify the cars. Yeah. So depending on the field of view, how far is it? In the thermal, because Carlos, you have some thermals here.
Mm-hmm.
For the thermal intrusion or perimeter, long distance, we have like a multi-kilometer. So this is insane. Yeah.
Yeah, for example, we are detecting this person there. Okay, this is around 400 meters distance with thermal camera. Okay, so we are talking about here, we are detecting this.
So it's like 2-3 pixels per meter.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3.5, something like that. Okay, look at this. Those are the two persons there, and we are detecting them. we are detecting, we are not classifying them as persons. We are not doing this because at this distance, mind that it's almost impossible to classify these as persons, but what we are doing is detecting perfectly fine. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This
Okay,
is
thank you.
so small.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay, then for me, I think it will be enough. Probably, if there would be my colleague, he would have some technical questions, but I don't have.
If you want, we can have. You can send me a message. You can call me. We can have another meeting in order to go into whatever is needed. Just let us know. Okay, so we can book another meeting and we can go in details.
Yeah. Also, there are two options. First, if you have some video footage, you would like to, let's say, could you apply your footage, our footage, to your system? Let's see how it works, what it see, etc. So you can send us the footage. Then we can restream it and simulate the real camera. Or we also can make the POC. So it is possible, but we will discuss with Armand this. We can apply you like 2-4 cameras, let's say, to make the POC. Then you can test it in your. You provide the access to the camera. We install you the server. If you have some spare server, a small server for the 4 cameras, doesn't need to be very, very expensive, and you can specify some use cases. We can predict some use cases, and then we can check online, or we can check on fly, let's say, how it works in your environment. And if does make sense, I would say it's always good to test. Then you can see, okay, you can ask the operator if they are happy with the alerts coming, etc., etc. Yeah, we can make it like it is.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay, yeah, I just want one confirmation. Yeah, so you mentioned it's a license per camera or per channel. Yeah, because Martin mentioned that Riga is using multi-sensor cameras, like 4 lenses,
channel.
4 channels. Yeah, channel. Okay,
Per channel.
that's a confirmation.
Channel.
Thank you. Okay, then
So
I stop recording.
That means that, wait for a moment, Armand. That means that if the camera is creating 4 video feeds, that means that there are 4 licenses. If the camera is stitching only 1 video feed, which is given with 360, it's going to be 1 camera, 1 license. Sorry. Okay, but remember that maybe could appear that making the stitching in the camera and creating 1 360 feed could be cheaper, but I can tell you not, because the hardware you are going to require in order to process this video feed is going to be much more expensive and less performant. Okay, but just for giving you the whole image. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Okay, then thank you very much for this meeting. Yeah, so and hopefully we will.
I've got the idea. You can switch off the recording. Maybe we can predict you, like I make quotation and hardware